Hello, everyone. I know it's been a while. Um, I said I'd come back, and I meant it. This channel is about not being judged, and it's purely factual. Um, and that's how I want to keep it. So, I know I've been gone a while. But there's going to be a lot of ground I'm going to cover. I'm going to try and cover it as best as I can. And generally, it's going to be about things that are happening today. Like this whole transgender issue we're having. Also, how human beings are, and such and so forth. Now, Candice Owens, I'm not sure she's officially a politician, but I know she rules in those lines. She was on campus discussing the issues we're having with whatever questions were asked actually by the students. So they would ask the questions, she would then be on this stage and she would respond to them. So one day, one of the students stood up and said, you disagree with this, non-binary, all of this. So what do you think about the Native Americans that did it? And she went, what? And I'm not going to lie, I was watching this and I was like, what? Because this you can watch on YouTube. And it's so amazing to me. And I don't give a fuck who you are, honestly. I tell you, I've faced my fears long enough. I've nearly died twice. So I've seen things that most haven't. And, well, all I can say to you is I have my experiences and you have yours. But in this one moment, Candice Owens does respond and she says, hold on. What? Where did you get your information from? She goes, on Google. And I'm sorry, but I laughed. I laughed because you can type in anything. You can type in what if, and then there'll be a list of questions that will come. What if the sun doesn't rise? What if the moon collides in with the earth? Or what if I don't eat peas? People are actually the reason why you get such things come up in the first place is because they're the most common things that people actually answer. So it's really funny. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the things people ask are actually just amazing to me because I'm thinking, what fucking planet are you on? But again, each to their own. But this millennia really has kicked some arse. Now, the youngers think they know better, but what they don't know is actually who specifically kept us together. So, like in the UK, what kept us being the way we were, having the royal family here. We are so small in comparison to America, Russia, you know, so on, so forth. And it goes like that. But we have a lot of power. Why is that? Now, one thing I can tell you is that no matter where you go, there's always someone that wants to be in power. Don't matter. In your group of friends, you will have the one that rules the team. It's always the way it's been. I don't understand it. I don't understand the need for the power. I don't understand the want for the power. Because if you know me, you know my life, you know who I am, you will know that I am the most straight-talking, honest person that you'll ever meet. I ain't got nothing to hide. At the end of the day, things happen to people, and you can't judge them because they have. Honestly, it's not an issue to me. So, I'm happy to be challenged, but do you know what? Millennials. Millennials are the ones that think they want to run the world now. So, in this moment with Candice Owens actually responds to this. And she said, okay, right. She said, and Candice Owens also, she's like me. If she doesn't know anything about the issue, she will say that, and she will say, look, you know, I can't exactly say or give you my answer or opinion because I don't know myself. And if she's similar to me, if it intrigues me enough, I will do my own research and do the findings wherever I can in order to see what is actually going on, so that it becomes factual and not pretentiously opinionated and judgment orientated. So she said, I don't really, know kind of how that correlates to why it's happening now. She said, that I'm aware of, they weren't doing things like that. Now, one thing that I can say to you is that all of you in America that now live in America, years and years and years ago, you actually came from England. You came from the UK. You went over to America and you killed and tormented and tortured every native you could imagine. So, there's a lot of haunted ground in America for a reason. And a lot of people wonder why, and that is exactly why. Whether you believe in that or not. But I believe you've got to have an open mind in order to exist in this world. So, because the world changes. The world, you could be in a coma for a year and wake up to find the world has changed on you. To find that no one's there for you anymore. That's how quickly this world is moving, which if I'm going to be honest, ironically, I don't really understand why we have to keep moving. Like, China is a prime example of move. Let's get this shit out. Let's, you know, and they're a fast-paced place, you know, and they're known for certain things and whatnot and this and that, the other. So think about it logically, right? Logically, the natives lived off their land. What they did was, the herbal remedies we use today came from them. Plants, you know, if they caught animals, but mainly plants is what they lived off of. And, you know, they worked hard. They worked hard, more than hard, in fact. And the remnants of what was done to them, too fucking right that they have cursed certain grounds, or the majority of America, because no one can understand why there's like there's towns that are completely running wild with paranormal activity, and they're small towns, but it's the whole town. It's not just like one house or shop, or, you know, and these are questions that have been unanswered. But the real questions is you've got to think about the remnants, the things people leave behind. You know, in this millennia, no one gives a fuck about how they got here. They're so ungrateful. You know, you ask a millennial a simple question and they don't understand it. They think they know better. You know, you've got Ben Shapiroi. I actually don't mind Ben Shapiroi. He might be in your face. I mean, like, Piers Morgan, he's an arsehole. But in these moments, having certain conversations, right? He is right. He is correct in saying, okay, well, if I follow your rules, your guidelines, why can't I be a black lesbian? And I did laugh. I'm not going to lie. I mean, seriously, that was funny. But, you know, check it out on YouTube. You will actually see the clip, and then you've got that guy going, well, you know, and it's kind of like that. And he's a millennial. He doesn't understand. And the thing is, no one seems to give a fuck about how they got here. No one seems to be grateful anymore for, like, my granddad fighting in World War II. He was a fucking bike messenger in Italy, Sicily. He did a lot of other things. He told me a lot of other things that he did. But no one gives a fuck. And that is the problem. You cannot wake up today and be like, well, I'm going to ignore the obvious. No. Because let me tell you something. Can you ignore the obvious? No, you can't. Here's an example of why. If I were to leave my front door open, unlocked, my back door open, unlocked, I went away for, say, a week, what are the chances that my home would be broken into? Now answer that question. Think about it. I'll give you a second. Seconds up. So and then you apply that to any other situation. Now, okay, you can be what you want to be. Okay? You can be what you want to be, who you want to be. Just don't do what the Bible bashers do. And yes, I called them Bible bashers because that's what they do. That's what they are. Jehovah's Witnesses. Generally speaking, they enforce religion upon you. They don't actually say to you, well, do you believe? And if you say no, you know, it then becomes like an argument rather than agree to disagree moment, or an actual kind of moment of proper communication. Which, think about it, if we could all be as honest as I am, and as logic, and as not judgmental, then everybody would be in the right place. So, paedophiles would be locked away. Murderers would be in a prison cell, rotting away. So, and such, and such, and such, and such, and so on, and so on, and so on. So, you know, we could have a peaceful world. It's just you guys on the end of it. And you don't realise how much power each of you wield. Cyberbullying is now a very big thing. That fucks me off a lot. I've always said it. Don't get me wrong, right? One thing I can tell you, the documentary on, I think it was called The American Family, and I can't remember his name for some reason now. Yeah, I've watched, he's also on Prime. I think he got 3 life sentences for killing his pregnant wife. I think his name is Matt. Is it Matt or Dave or something? I can't really remember right now. But, yeah, and then he killed his 2-year-old, 3-year-old. Yeah? Now, the victim's family had nothing but abuse. And do you know what? That disgusted me to my inner core. They don't judge you, so don't fucking judge them. You know what? Because I couldn't believe it. Like, people were turning around and saying, oh, you could see she was manipulating him, or she was a bitch. You see in this one, in the documentary, because he's also got a documentary on him on Prime too. And they are actually documentaries and not films. So, and then you see the family speak in front of the news and say, please, can you just keep your opinions to yourself? We can't take it no more. And I'm thinking, why the fuck do they even need to say that in the first place? Why is it? You, like, whoever you are out there, yeah? Don't get me wrong. There's been times when I've been ignorant enough to be judgmental. And I'm not perfect. But at least I admit what my faults. When I fuck up, I am the first motherfucker to tell you that. And that alone. Now tell me why you think it's okay to do that to a grieving family after what he did. he was a cheater, he had an affair. You're blaming the victim that's dead. She's dead. The kids are dead. And you're saying, oh, well, she drove him to it. No, she didn't. She did not. Every person has a choice. So there you go. Case and point. You can argue all you want with me. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, you wouldn't like it. If something happened and you hit major news like your brother killed your sister, and, you know, there was all this, like, all over the place around the world, people commenting on you, people doing this, doing that, you know, saying this, saying that, you wouldn't be able to take it. That I can tell you is harassment, and it's bullying. And now, what I will say to you is this. If you think it's okay to do that, well, then I would suggest thinking about a new lifestyle, because a lot of it is coming from millennials. And if any of you actually know what a millennial is, which it kind of, you know, the word itself makes it obvious. I don't need to kind of cross-reference that for you, but what I can tell you is it's absolutely disgusting. Again, I don't care what you think of me. Believe me, I've met many people in my lifetime. I've nearly died twice. I fought fear after fear of mine. And let me tell you, I'm fearless. I'm fearless because I recognised what this world is. And you don't just, like, you cannot be belligerent. I can't just leave this house for a week if I went on a holiday and leave the doors unlocked. No fucking way. You've got to understand. Like, you've got to understand. Everyone has their own needs, their own wants, you know. But you've got to remember, you're fighting against your own fucking race. At the end of the day, it's now apparently white people getting racist remarks. I mean, fuck me. I was sat there like, fuck, why? Like, you know, it wasn't that long ago we were talking about white supremacy. And look at me, I'm not white. I'm a little bit more pale than I should be, but that's because I'm not exactly well. But still, you know, and now they're saying it's other cultures attacking Caucasians racially. So I'm sitting there, and again, this is another thing that came up. This actually came up on Dr. Phil, but Candice Owen was on it. And there was a couple of other people, and they were also talking about universities and the type of individuals they let into universities. Now, it wasn't on their merit that they were letting students into certain universities. It was their race. And the people on the opposing side, this is what they said, more or less. So Candice Owen's response, and I agree entirely. Why are you doing this? Why can't an individual, which would make sense academically speaking, based on their merit, be allowed into a university? So we're now fighting ourselves over fucking what? Like, I don't care. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. You can leave all the comments you want if you ever watch this video and you disagree with it. But do you know what? Take a look in the mirror first. Tell me what you see. Tell me that you haven't got fucking skeletons in your closet. Just remember, we are all the same race. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. If I was fucking rainbow coloured, would you really kill me and cut off my head? Fuck off. At the end of the day, we are all different, but not so different that we're different like races. We are one race. And if we stuck together as a race, and if, for example, didn't judge, because a lot of people don't realise that when they start making these comments, and yes, when I was younger, I can tell you that, you know, I was a bit belligerent myself, but I'm not the one to judge you. If you believe in a creator or God, as many may say, then you have to believe in the one below, which is the devil, Satan, whatever you refer to him as. So you've got to, like, understand everything and realise that if you follow the path of them and the Bible, then you have to give equal way to everyone. But, you know, the problem is that we're all kind of different so much that each of us, if every single person on the planet read the Bible, they would interpret it differently. Now, there's that saying of, there's always two sides to a story. No, there isn't. No, there isn't. There's two interpretations and one real story. Think about it. I don't think like you. So if we have a conversation, yeah, okay, fine, cool. Maybe we can agree on something, right? But then, I don't know, something else comes up and we don't agree, and we're just kind of going backwards, forwards. No, that would be the interpretation part. That actually wouldn't be, you know, the story, because no one else was there to see, say, Sarah and Louise strangling each other in the middle of the street. So therefore, no one could take judgment on the other or have an opinion on the other. The police could not even do that. You know, so it's a bit swings and roundabouts, really. And, you know, I find it very, very interesting that people seem to think that way. Whereas I've had to open my mind and unlock parts of it. Now, at the end of the day, the one thing that I can tell you is that the way I speak, the way I look, the way I address myself in these videos, so on and so forth, I'm me. Over time, I've come to realise I always had a problem with me. I never liked me. But some things happened and I realised that I don't like me. I don't love me. But I'm stuck with me. And I know what I am. And to which life became a different game then. It became a very different game. So, I guess the whole point of this video, is just to, have a catch up with some of the issues that have arisen since. But obviously my next one will be on a specific one, like I've done with all the others. But think before you walk and talk. Hell, think before you breathe. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty sure the majority of you saw, you know, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp's case. And that I'll discuss. And I will share some potential details as to why I can confirm certain things. But that's for another time. So, up until the next video, see you soon. Thank you for watching.